As you go about your daily life in London, do you ever stop to think that London is at risk of flooding? Most people would probably think of the Thames Barrier and the protection it provides. But London has a much wider network of rivers, some above ground and some now buried underground, which can flood. Heavy rain can lead to surface water flooding. If rainwater can't drain away into the ground, it can overwhelm the sewer system. This is sometimes called flash flooding. Your council, together with the Environment Agency and Thames Water, are building a range of flood defences over the next decade and maintaining those that are already there. Thames Water is upgrading the sewer network, for example through the Thames Tideway Tunnel. It's often thought that building flood defences will stop floods from happening completely, but this isn't the case. Defences can reduce the likelihood and severity of flooding, but extreme weather, which is more likely due to climate change, can still cause flooding. There are lots of things you can do to protect your home or business from flooding. First is knowing whether you live or work in a place at risk of flooding. Search for Environment Agency Flood Map on the internet. Enter your postcode to see if you are at risk of flooding and what the level of this risk is. Change the options in the drop-down menu to see if you are at risk from different types of flooding. The Met Office and Environment Agency monitor the weather 24/7, and whenever flooding is expected, they will issue flood warnings. A free flood warning service is available to people living in flood risk areas. Search for Floodline Warnings Direct and register to get flood warnings by text, email or fax. Make sure you know what the flood warnings mean. It's also a good idea to complete a personal flood plan. It will help you prepare for and respond to a flood. Keep it in a safe and easily accessible place and review it every year. Go to gov.uk to download your copy. If you own or manage a business, it's really important to have a flood plan. Consider the safety of your staff, customers and any visitors on site. What would happen if there was a flood? Practice and make sure your staff can put the plan into action. If you have children, think about how nursery or school arrangements may be affected if flooding occurs. If you have a car, identify higher ground you could move it to. Make sure your buildings and contents insurance covers you for flood damage. If you rent your home, you will need to have contents insurance to protect your belongings, whilst your landlord should have buildings insurance. You may decide to install defences on your home or business. The National Flood Forum has a directory of companies that provide flood protection products. If you sleep in a basement, consider fitting a flood alarm. Create a flood pack in case of emergency. Include warm and waterproof clothing, blankets, food and water, a first aid kit, torch, battery or wind-up radio, and spare batteries. You'll want a camera or your phone to take photos of flood damage for your insurer. Include anything your family needs, such as medication, nappies, or pet food. Even if you live in a flat, you can still be affected by flooding. You may lose your energy and water supplies and may not be able to leave or enter your building. Car parking is often underground or at ground level, which can flood. What would you do if the area around your home flooded? So in summary, check whether you are at risk of flooding, complete a flood plan. If you are a business, have contingency plans in place. Know what to do if flooding occurs, and know how you can protect your property.